Hello, V-Teamers. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining us for Up to Speed on this August 9th. And look who we have here. We sent the invite out. Hans is here. It's good to be with you.
I got the invite late Sunday evening, so I'm here. It's
welcome.
Great to be
Hey,
here.
Olympics just closed, and just maybe a special Hans recap of how Team Sweden did?
Yeah. Of course, I've watched a lot of Olympics. You know, I love sports. Sweden did pretty well.
Yeah.
We lost some important games in the team competitions, in handball and soccer, but overall we did well. We took more medals than we did in the last 3 Olympics, I guess. But just to be clear, US did fantastic and won again the medals by far. 138 medals or something, but it was amazing, even though it was a little bit odd. There are no people in the stadium, nobody cheering these fantastic athletes. But I guess they are trained for doing it because there have been so many years without any spectators. But anyhow, a great Olympics that is over right now. So just blow ahead.
Well, and as two people who appreciate sort of the endeavor of athletics, it's always great to watch these great athletes and then think about sort of our own performances.
Yes.
So with that in mind, Hans, let's hear from you about just updates about the company here.
Yeah, no, let me start by I always say, you know, and that's around the pandemic that is still moving around across the globe. Some places a little bit less impacts in others. Definitely it's a serious issue, and we need to continue to be very serious about this pandemic and the Delta and all of that. And our HR team is continuously working with the protocols, and Andy will talk a little bit about it later. So that's important. If we talk about business updates, I mean, a lot has happened already since the second quarter, you know, when we reported that out. Our network team continues to win all the awards, RootMetrics, JD Powers, just amazing work. And not only that, they're deploying more network gear than ever before and gearing us up for an exciting second half of 2021. On the retail side, our heroes in the stores are continuing to do well with all the promos we've had, all the way from the cracked screen to the biggest upgrade ever, and that you saw in the second half figures that we posted, that we have good traction with our customers, and we're gearing up again for things happening in the second half here. So that's all good. A couple of other things happening. I think one thing I'm excited over is also the wins we're doing in Verizon Business Group. It's so important. We won in the public safety space with the DoD. We're winning many others. We're doing a lot in the 5G mobile edge compute at the same time, announcement with partners, moving ahead. So all going according to the plans we have said there. And then on the innovation side, I mean, we're still in the great drone business, and Skyward made the first 4G connected drones together with Parrot, which is continue to show how we are leading. We're on the leading edge of the drone world, using the cellular networks in order to see that we're going to have those type of devices being managed in the air. So that's great. And there are also some other news, and this week actually, Christy Pambianchi, our CHRO, she will depart the company. She will leave the company, and she has done a great job in the company, and we wish her all the best. She will go to another large company that is not the competitor, and we wish her all the best in that endeavor. She has done a great contribution here with all the responses to COVID, all the HR development we've done. But all in all, she's now moving ahead later this week. I've started the work with our team to find a successor. Meanwhile, Craig Silliman would actually manage the HR organization as well. And again, we have a clear path where we're going. It has been mapped out in HR. I'm really confident what we're doing with the COVID response and the HR process that we're changing and moving forward with all the pulse and all of that. So we will just continue to execute on that. And all in all, it's an exciting second half we have in front of us. I guess that's a short update. There's a lot of things happening in the company, and of course, I'm excited. I've actually had a couple of days of vacation, or some semi-vacation, been to Sweden, but here I am right now, and I was so excited to come into the office this morning, so I super excited to be here at the Basking Ridge, meeting people and seeing what we're doing and taking this forward.
Yeah, this is my first day after taking some time off, vacationing with my brother, so it's good to be back, and thank you for the update, Hans, and I think this is a great moment for us to recognize, acknowledge the hard work that the HR team has done.
Yeah, they've done fantastic.
Any reason as to Christy's departure that you can share with us?
No, the only I mean, she of course need to do that, but she is taking on a role that she thinks is important in her life in the next step she's doing, and we have all the respect for that and supporting her in that, and as I said, she's going to another industry, and we're going to be supportive of her, and we thank her for everything she has done, and she has been such a joy to work with. So.
Absolutely, and really, as you mentioned, there's really no better place that you and I.
No. We are here, and of course we are V-teamers. We're a team. We
Absolutely.
are plenty of people here to see that we continue to take it forward. We have our plans going forward. So I'm excited for the second half.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, there is a lot to talk about, a lot to share, so I'll continue with the updates here. We've got some COVID updates that we want to share with you, so we'll of course get back to Hans for the dinner table question, which I'll get to toss this time around, so that'll be nice. But let's talk about COVID. It's something that obviously a lot of us are talking about with our families, with our colleagues here. A couple updates here, top of mind for our employees. First, COVID cases are rising amid the Delta variant. I wanted to share a few updates with how we're sort of responding with our strategy and protocols here. So first, it's important to remember that our COVID task force is actively monitoring developments across the globe, paying close attention to what public health authorities are saying, they're recommending. We are working, of course, with WHO, CDC, local level guidance. We're making sure that we're on top of all of that. Let's talk about face coverings for a minute here. So as we remain focused on guidance based by the health experts, we are now recommending, not requiring, that fully vaccinated individuals, employees, and customers wear masks in work locations. Again, that's a recommendation, not a requirement. This includes stores, offices, garages, and whenever on site. Masks will continue to be required for those not fully vaccinated and in those locations where masks are required by local law. And as a reminder, this goes for the entire company. You must certify using the RTO tool. This is very important when working outside of your home, so keep using that RTO tool. A vaccine reminder, I want to remind V-teamers that while we do not require vaccines at this time, we strongly advise every employee to get vaccinated to protect themselves, their loved ones, our colleagues. So please consider if you haven't already. And anyone who may be hesitant to do so should speak with their healthcare provider to understand the benefits of being vaccinated. Once again, this is not a requirement at this time, but certainly we strongly advise this move. So as we think more about work forward and return to the office in the coming weeks, we'll of course have Hans, we'll have Craig, we'll continue talking about this. This is from the beginning, this has always been a discussion that's been open, that's been transparent. We'll continue to do so. And just coming out today, some big news here in the Verizon Innovative Learning space here. Verizon is launching a new educational portal, and this is called Verizon Innovative Learning HQ. This scales the resources of Verizon Innovative Learning. This is, of course, our company's educational initiative addressing the barriers of digital inclusion, and that launches August 23rd. That's Verizon Innovative Learning HQ. Hans, is there anything you'd like to share on that?
No, I think that during this pandemic, many children have been suffering their schooling. Been set back in the schooling because they didn't have the means, etc. Our work with Verizon Innovative Learning is more important than ever, so we don't leave any child behind. And going to the underserved communities and seeing that we're doing work, we're upping our game. And between 2020 and 2025, we're going to invest $3 billion in these type of areas when it comes to network and support and resources. And we're, of course, focusing a lot on the teachers because they are so important there. So there's been a lot of suffering in the pandemic, and it's not over yet. And it's very important now when we go back to school, because that's why it's so important right now that they have all of that. Just coming back on the last thing you're saying about the pandemic and it's a rise and all of that, I would just add to the leadership team continue to have the the crisis leadership team meetings weekly, following up, and that's what you are referring to. We will take decision, transparent and listening what's happening, and things can change. But clearly we have a governance following this up, and we'll continue to do so.
Yeah, and when you think about, how we're dealing with the pandemic, how we're dealing with the students with Verizon Innovative Learning, these are proof points of the why behind the what.
Yeah.
And that's what we should stay focused on. And of course, we're thinking about, all that's going on in the world of Citizen Verizon. That's part of just what we're committed to.
Yeah.
And when we think about, the wildfires and the floods that are going on, of course we'll continue monitoring. Of course we'll be thinking, V2V, how we're going to respond. It all plays into how we're staying focused, laser focused on what we need to do as a company and how we serve that all-important stakeholder society. And as we think about that, Hans, your final thoughts today?
No, thank you for a good summary there. I mean, it's a lot of things happening. I mean, the natural disasters continue to happen. Our V-teamers out there and seeing that we do everything to see that our customers and our communities are connected. That's going to be important. I mean, in summary, we have a very exciting second half. You can see it on me. Our network team is deploying more gear than ever, preparing ourselves both for the C-band, more millimeter wave. And don't forget how great we're doing with Fios. The team that is deploying Fios, residential Fios, doing great. Our field engineers just doing fantastically. So I thank all the field troops that are out there deploying all of that, so the commercial and the marketing part of our company can now take advantage of that in the second half, and stay tuned, there's going to be a lot around that. But I also want to thank all the people in the stores, because ultimately that's where our customers are coming in many cases, and getting the customer experience that we want to give them. And now when we look into the second half, we have an economy fully back, we have all our stores open, we have a lot of great promos coming out. So we're excited over that, and it's a competitive market, but I feel good about our strategy. I feel good about what we're doing in the second half, and Ronan, Tammy, Sampat are preparing, and also Guru, of course, even though, as we said, that when they had a second half reporting, is that most probably during this quarter, Verizon Media Group will be divested and go to Apollo. We're going to have our share. We're going to be close to them and see what they're doing. But all in all, exciting second half year. We know what to do, and growth is very important for us right now. Continue on that trajectory we came into in the second half, both for consumer and for business, will be so important. And also seeing that we take advantage of all the investments we're doing. Sometimes we forget how much we've invested the last 12 months. First of all, where we're CapEx. We bought Spectrum for $53 billion US. All in all, to make this network as a service for our customers, and then seeing that we have partners all the way from on the consumer side with the Disney Plus, Discovery Plus, on the business side with the Amazon, the Microsoft, etc., in order to deliver this. And I think we have all those elements there in assets. It's all about execution. It's all about getting the growth there. So I'm excited, and I hope I'm going to be invited soon again, so I can continue to tell you what we're doing. But there's a lot of things happening, and again, we're going to do the return to office for the ones being in the offices in the gradual way, with all the policies and everything, and thinking about the individuals of this company and all the V-teamers. That we will do in a very organized way, as we've said all the time. And Andy, back to you.
Hey, the beautiful thing is that growth and execution you share, it happens together.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud to be part of this team. And as I've said, every show here, Hans, the invite always stands.
It's always. You're going to send an invite every time?
I mean, if you want, I can kind of draft it in some great callicgraphy. We'll figure something out, but it's great to see you.
Great to see you, man.
Thank you for starting the week with us.
Thank you.
And folks, thank you for starting your week. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Thank you for starting the week with us, everyone. And until next time, you're up to speed.
At Verizon, we are committed to closing America's digital divide. We are investing to bring tech and connectivity to underserved schools across the country, making high-quality connectivity more affordable for low-income families, and expanding access to rural communities. It's all part of our $3 billion commitment to help those who need it most and close the digital divide. Because we believe no one should be left behind.